first-person dungeon-crawling RPG made by Disillusion Dev in 2021. The best way to describe this game is, what if LSD Emulator was a dungeon crawler with combat? In the game, you wake up with no memories in a strange tower filled with odd creatures. All you have is an urge to climb it. The gameplay revolves around climbing up the tower, fighting and interacting with characters, all while trying to find out why you're there and what the purpose of the tower is. Aesthetically, the developer knew what he was going for. Visuals and atmosphere usually on par with LSD. Frog Days is a first-person point-and-click game that has been in development since 2017. All I could find on this game was a gameplay video, which you're seeing now, and a description of the game. The year is 1995. Computer technology is progressing at a rapid pace, and the demand for personal computers has never been higher, leading computers into the living space and millions of users flooding away. The latest version of the number one graphical user that both business and home use operating system. Even your computer is running flavor OS. However, your computer is special. Mysterious functionality allows you to explore virtual worlds hidden within the operating system, and within each world you find every new piece of data you discover, there lies clues to one of the best kept secrets of humankind. That's right, an ancient alien.
I need to get close.
February 2002 is an RPG Maker game made by 5 different developers in 2000. The game revolves around a ghost that receives a mysterious calendar in the mail. The calendar is for the month of February 2015. After hanging on the wall, the ghost gets sucked into the calendar. The calendar is a collection of games made by 5 different developers in the month of February 2015. For this month, the 5 developers had to make a new game every single day based on a problem. In the calendar, you can visit each day of the month and play each game made by the different developers on that day. The game also contains a museum that you can visit. After completing the game, it gets added to the museum where you can look at it. I ended up playing this game for quite a bit. It's quite the masterpiece, and I'm pretty glad that I found it. I've only really played about half the games in the collection. I do see myself coming back to play the other ones. The Uncle Who Works for Nintendo is an online visual novel created by Michael Lodge in 2014. The game is based around that thing that happened when you were a kid, and you have that one friend who would say that my dad or my uncle works for Nintendo and I can get a Wii before it even comes out. I saw this like a lot. The game is set in the 90s and follows a child and their best friend and has a mysterious uncle set to be an employee of Nintendo. Yeah, fucking right. The child sleeps over at his friend's house, places on a 64, only to find out that there's something off about his friend's age. After completing the 5 different endings and working out the story, it turns out the uncle is some sort of eldritch being, and the friend breaks into his house and defeats him. I completely forgot about this game. I remember watching YouTubers play it back again. I honestly thought this game was some sort of dream I had as a kid. Video is another game made by the same people but a weird trying hand game from before. I got a warning when downloading this game that it may cause brain damage. I'd say that a good 70% of the games on this iceberg have already damaged the functionality of my brain, so I don't think I'm too afraid of this warning. The game follows the same final guy in the other game. Apparently his name is Star. You play as Star that talks to random people and is very short and tied together with a very curious story. Also, the junior guy is in this game. This game is a lot better than the other one, and I really do like the art style than the thick outline. Oh yeah, and the warning was right. This game did add to the damaging of my cerebrum. Death of the Agnol is another game made by Jacob Glover. In the Death of the Agnol, you play as a janitor guy with a massive nose and kind of does the job of cleaning up shit in a bar. You go pick up the shotgun and go on a killing spree. I wasn't able apocalypse, leading to the extinction of mankind. After the nuke, some sort of god guy collected a few human souls to add into his collection. This collection is a bizarre nightmare of surreal landscapes and is referred to as the Midnight Station. The main plot of the game involves exploring said station and finding a way to escape. A Surreal Climb is a short game made by Leon Tanlum in 2020. The game follows a guy that is stuck in a hole and decides to climb a ladder in order to escape. As you climb higher up the ladder, the background starts to get goofy and slower. What happens when you get to the top? Well, I don't know. When you get to the second ladder, you get sent back to the beginning of the game, so we will never know. Top Banana is a platformer game made by Studio Hex for the Amiga back in 1992. The game is quite a simple platformer, where the player has the goal of reaching the top of the level, traversing the psychedelic and tricky looking levels. I wasn't able to play the game, but I don't think I was listening too much to the game. Even the iceberg created exactly what it's doing. Also, the game's open. Do not look it up. Phase 3 is an old Japanese Macintosh adventure game made in 1993 by Maze Box. I honestly did not find much information on it other than about listening to the game. It's a pretty standard first-person point-and-click game where you click on different parts to discover new techniques and interact with that. Other than that unique feeling produced by the empty landscape, the game is not that surreal. It's just old. Big Bang is another game for the RPG PC, created sometime in the 90s. Like the last one, I could not really find much info. Judging by the gameplay alone, Big Bang seems to be some sort of platformer where you control a yellow clown as he walks around collecting decapitated rainbow teddy bear heads while smiling threateningly into the camera. As the game progresses, the stages get even more surreal and eerie, and music switches to an ominous hum. Also, just listening to the death sound. Jesus Christ, I have no idea what this game is. Is it a kids game? Is it a horror game? Is it a shit post? It's really hard to tell. Beauty Within its Walls is a game about being weird and bizarre with its visuals, results, abilities, and possibilities. It's a top-down exploration made by Warcraft Shadowlands in 2016. This game is completely immense. The controls are inverted. There's text on the screen that is completely indecipherable. Beauty Within its Flaws is what I would call an anti-game. It really does not give a fuck. It's just doing its own thing, being whoever it wants to be. I guess you could say this game has quite a lot of beauty to be found within its flaws. I'm going to paint the walls with my face. Ruda is an exploration game made in 2019 by Extinguisher Girl and is all about tripping way too hard at a party. You play as a girl as she goes to a party and plans to get home early to sleep. When offered a drink, she gulps it down. Instead, she had too many of the perk 30s. She participated in narcotics too much. She drank too much of the perky drink, and now she's tweaking, as is standard for these sort of games. She walks around a bit and sees some tricky and surreal imagery. I love that what is meant to be tricky and static as you try and get to the end without running over pedestrians. I don't think there's any hidden or anything, it's just a very simple entry. Black Room is a browser-based adventure game that follows an insomniac who is trying to fall asleep using a self-guided meditation technique while aiming to visualize an entirely dark space, thereby lulling herself to sleep. She becomes lost in thought, allowing fantasy and memory to intrude into her mind. The game is meant to be a commentary on the issues of gender within gaming culture, and the developer has described the game as a feminist fantasy. Although all of the sprites in the game are lifted from other games, the game manages to design all these different assets in a way that looks pretty good, which is really hard to do. Diana is a top-down adventure game made by the British developer Jack and Spooner in 2017. The game follows the character Diana, that is under the occupation of foreign powers in a stylized, monstrous, yet realistic world as she tries to find out what happened to her husband and daughter. The game touches upon themes of death and explores them through the stories of people who knew as they played the game. Warcraft Shadowlands is a Japanese escape room in 2017.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real. Have a good one.
This is yet another anti-game with really bad control and gameplay that does not make any sense, and also insane person logic. The story follows the player as they enter into a haunted mansion in order to save a family that were in a plane crash that crash landed into the mansion and have become stuck. Yeah, so many insane person logic. The gameplay involves solving completely brain-dead puzzles in order to escape the mansion.
It's still retarded.
No way this game the whole time. Oh yeah, and apparently all of the art in the game is drawn with a mouse. It looks beautiful. I have no idea how I'm meant to say this word. I usually suck it up and try my best, but this time I'm actually lost. Tism is a short horror game made by 4 developers in 2021. The game has you explore an empty and rather scary office building. It starts off as a simple adventure game, trying to find keys to get to the next area. That is, until you get to a floor that is pitch black, and the game forces you to walk around like a scared little bitch with a flashlight. After reaching the end of the room, spoilers, you find a human worm thing. Spooky. This game was surprisingly polished and very well made. I know I say this 100 times in every video, I am aware, but this game has a really cool art style and atmosphere. Also, apparently the name of the game is an actual Hebrew word that means the removal of God in the universe at the moment of creation, I think. Not sure how it relates to the game. I wasn't really paying that much attention. Infamy is a really psychedelic puzzle game made by Barney. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna say it for the 102nd time. This game has a really cool art style. I really do apologize. I can't come up with any other words about very epic visuals, truly amazing illustrations. While I have no idea about the meaning or plot of the game, its visuals, audio, and gameplay are truly unique and unlike everything else. It's a pretty simple puzzle until more and more mechanics get added and genuine skill and attention becomes required. This game is a breath of fresh air. Most games
You have your orders.